What's the most extreme thing someone has done just to beat someone they hated? I used to work at a small tech startup that hosted an annual in-house coding competition. It was a big deal. The winner got a cash bonus, a ridiculously oversized trophy, and their name permanently etched onto a giant wall of fame in the office. More importantly, they earned some serious bragging rights. Two of our senior developers, Mark and Jason, were at the center of this event every year. Their rivalry was the stuff of legend. Jason had won 3 years in a row and made sure everyone remembered it. Mark, on the other hand, had come in second each time, and he hated it. They didn't just compete, they actively despised each other. Petty comments, passive-aggressive code reviews, sarcastic emails, you name it. Everyone else stayed out of their way. About a month before the next competition, Mark started coming in earlier than usual. Then he began staying late. We figured he was just trying to finally beat Jason. Normal enough. But soon, things escalated. He stopped taking lunch breaks. His desk slowly turned into a hybrid workstation survival bunker. Sleeping bag under the desk. Toothbrush in the restroom. A mini fridge appeared next to his monitor. It was like he'd moved in. We thought it was extreme, but then Jason started having problems. His computer began randomly glitching. He'd be working and suddenly his screen would freeze or crash without warning. It checked everything but couldn't pinpoint the cause. Then his home internet kept cutting out on the days he worked remotely. Constant drops. Random outages. A week before the competition, his car got towed twice. Both times it was for parking violations no one could verify. The signs were unclear, and the towing company claimed they'd received anonymous complaints. Jason started falling behind. He looked more and more stressed each day. Bags under his eyes, hands shaking from caffeine and frustration. Meanwhile, Mark was laser-focused. Tired, sure, but running on some kind of unholy adrenaline. Competition day arrived. Everyone gathered in the main room. Jason looked like he hadn't slept in days. Mark, weirdly, looked more relaxed than usual, like a man who already knew the outcome. They coded for hours, test after test. Final scores were announced that afternoon. Mark won, by a wide margin. Jason didn't say a word, just stared at the floor while people clapped. Mark stood there grinning, trophy in hand. We thought that was the end of it. A week later, our IT guy was doing a routine sweep and found something off, very off. Mark had installed a keylogger on Jason's computer. Not just that, he'd hacked Jason's home Wi-Fi, deliberately throttling his internet signal during peak hours. He'd used spoofed emails to send misleading reminders about deadlines that didn't exist. He paid someone to call in fake parking violations so Jason's car would get towed. And the cherry on top? He had rented the apartment next to Jason's solely to mess with his Wi-Fi signal. Actual signal interference, using cheap hardware to create noise. Altogether, Mark spent over $15,000 on this scheme. He'd hired freelance hackers, bribed a guy at the towing company, bought signal jammers, and more, all to ruin Jason's prep and secure his own win. When management confronted him, he didn't deny any of it. He just leaned back in his chair, smiled, and said, "Worth every penny to see his face when they called my name." He was fired on the spot. Security escorted him out of the building. We never saw him again. But for months, anytime someone's screen froze or their internet dropped, we all joked, "Mark's back."